Have you ever watched a child hesitate before trying something new, like climbing to the top of a slide or speaking up in front of others, and thought to yourself, I wish I could give them just a little more confidence? Maybe it's your grandchild, a neighbor's little one, or even a child you help care for. You see their potential clear as day. But sometimes, they don't see it in themselves just yet. That feeling, that deep desire to help a child believe in who they are, is something so many of us share, especially as we get older. We've lived enough life to know how important confidence is. We've learned, often the hard way, how fear and doubt can hold someone back. And now, we want to pass something better on to the next generation. Something stronger. Something steadier. That's what today is all about. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 simple but powerful ways you can help a child grow their confidence, not with empty praise or over-the-top rewards, but with real, lasting support that helps them feel capable, valued, and ready to face the world. And don't worry, you don't need a psychology degree or a parenting manual. You just need a little time, a little patience, and the heart you already have. Let's start with one of the most underrated tools of all, letting them struggle a little. That might sound strange at first. Most of us, especially grandparents, are natural protectors. We hate to see the kids we love feeling frustrated or upset. It's tempting to jump in when we see them having trouble, tying their shoes, stacking blocks, even figuring out how to open a juice box. But here's the thing, confidence isn't built when everything is easy. It's built when something is hard, and they get through it anyway. When you give a child space to try, even if they fumble or get it wrong the first few times, you're telling them something incredibly powerful. I believe you can do this. That message is like planting a seed. At first, it might not seem like much. But over time, it grows into self-trust. And that's the root of real confidence. Now, this doesn't mean leaving a child to figure everything out alone. It means stepping back just enough to let them try. It means offering encouragement like, take your time, I know you're figuring it out, instead of rushing to do it for them. When they finally get that zipper up or solve that puzzle, the look on their face, pride, joy, surprise, is worth every second of the wait. That brings us to another simple, beautiful way to help a child build confidence, really listening to them. Not just hearing their words, but giving them your full attention, your eyes, your nods, your patient pauses. When a child tells you about their day, their dream, or even something that seems completely silly to you, like how they think worms might be able to talk, you have a golden opportunity. You can either dismiss it and move on, or you can lean in and say, that's interesting, tell me more. When you do that, you're showing them that their thoughts matter. That their voice matters. And that kind of affirmation goes deeper than most people realize. Kids pick up on more than just what we say. They feel our energy, our presence. When they feel truly heard, they start to believe they deserve to be heard. And that, my friend, is a powerful belief to carry through life. And don't worry if you don't always know what to say in return. You don't have to solve every problem or give perfect advice. Sometimes the most meaningful thing you can do is simply sit there, nod, and say, that sounds tough. I'm glad you told me. Or even just, that's a really cool idea. That small acknowledgement can light something up inside a child that stays glowing for years. Of course, not every child is eager to open up. Some are shy. Some have been shut down before. That's why another powerful confidence builder is letting them teach you something. This flips the usual dynamic around in a really lovely way. Instead of you being the one with all the answers, you invite them to show you how to do something, even if it's just how to play a game, or how to draw a silly doodle on paper. This does something remarkable. It tells them they have something valuable to offer. That even adults can learn from them. And let's face it, kids love to feel like the expert. Whether they're showing you how to do a dance move or explaining their favorite book, that feeling of being capable, of being looked up to, is priceless. It gives them a little taste of leadership, of being trusted. And it reinforces the idea that what they know, and who they are, is enough. I remember not long ago, I was trying to put together a toy for my grandson, and I'll admit, I was overthinking it. He watched for a moment, then said, "You know, Papa, I think the green piece goes there." And he was right. I could have brushed it off, but I looked at him and said, "Good eye. You caught something I didn't." The way he lit up, just from that one moment of being trusted, it stuck with me. Now that we've talked about the power of letting kids try, really listening to them, and giving them a chance to lead, let's keep going and explore even deeper ways to help them grow into confident, capable young people. Grow into confident, capable young people by looking at something that's easy to overlook, but so essential: how we respond when they make mistakes. It's one of the most defining moments in any child's development. Not the mistake itself, but what happens after. Think about your own life. How many of us learned more from messing up than from getting it right? Whether it was burning dinner, forgetting a birthday, or taking a wrong turn and ending up in the middle of nowhere, those moments didn't break us. They built us. But only because someone gave us the space to learn from them. And that's exactly what kids need too. When a child spills something, breaks something, or gets something completely wrong, it can be frustrating, especially if you've told them what to do 100 times already. But if you can pause, take a breath, and respond with understanding instead of criticism, you open the door for growth. You give them a chance to think, to reflect, and most importantly, to try again. Now, this doesn't mean ignoring mistakes or pretending everything is okay when it's not. What it means is separating the action from the person. You can say, "Oops, that was a mistake. Let's figure out how to fix it," instead of, "You're so clumsy," or "Why can't you ever listen?" One response focuses on the problem. The other quietly chips away at their self-worth. And here's the real gift: when a child sees that mistakes don't change how you see them, they begin to believe that maybe their mistakes don't define them either. That's how resilience is born. That's how confidence becomes something that lasts, not just in easy times, but when life gets messy. I've heard many grandparents say, "I just want my grandchild to be happy." But happiness isn't something we can give like a present. It's something children build for themselves, through practice, patience, and self-belief. And they need safe spaces to practice that. When you respond with kindness after a mistake, you become that safe space. You're not removing the bump in the road. You're simply saying, "I'll walk beside you as you learn to step over it." This leads us right into another powerful strategy that works like a quiet little miracle: praising the process, not just the outcome. It's something that seems small, but it changes the way a child sees effort, failure, and even themselves. It's easy to say, "Good job," when a child brings home a perfect test or finishes a drawing that looks just right. And sure, those moments deserve a high five. But what about when they try really hard and still don't get the result they wanted? That's where real confidence is forged, not in the win, but in the work. When you say things like, "I saw how focused you were on that," or "You didn't give up, even when it got tricky," you're telling the child that their effort matters. That trying is just as important as succeeding. And when kids start to value effort, they become more willing to take risks, try new things, and step outside their comfort zone. That's where growth lives. One of my favorite moments was watching my granddaughter try to learn how to whistle. Every day for a week, she'd puff her cheeks, purse her lips, and nothing. Just air. I could have told her to stop trying. She looked frustrated, and honestly, a little exhausted. But instead, I said, "I love how you keep practicing, even when it's hard." A few days later, she got out one tiny, squeaky note, and you'd have thought she won the Olympics. That wasn't just about making a sound. That was about discovering what she could do if she stuck with it. Praise like that is fuel. It tells children they're not valuable because they're perfect, but because they're growing. It teaches them that progress isn't always visible right away, and that's okay. In a world that can feel fast and unforgiving, that's a message they'll carry forever. And here's something beautiful: these little shifts in how we speak and how we respond, they start to change how we see the children, too. We stop looking for perfect behavior or perfect results. We start seeing the courage it takes just to try. And when we start noticing that, we become more encouraging, more patient, more deeply connected. All of this leads naturally into a final, heartfelt strategy: being a consistent presence. You don't need to be around 24/7 to make an impact. What matters is that the child knows you're there. That you show up when you say you will. That when they look into the crowd at the school play or glance around the room on a quiet afternoon, they see you. You'd be amazed at how much security and confidence comes from simply knowing someone is reliably on your side. Someone who claps the loudest, who listens without judgment, who doesn't flinch when things get hard. You might not be able to solve every problem or be at every event. But when a child knows they can count on you, to show up, to care, to keep loving them even on their bad days, that's the kind of foundation confidence is built on. And it doesn't have to be big gestures. It can be a weekly phone call. A Saturday afternoon tradition. A simple message, I believe in you. I'm proud of who you are. These things may seem small to us, but to a child, they're everything. Next, we'll keep building on this momentum and explore one more powerful way to help your child step into their full, confident self. Step into their full, confident self by doing something so simple, yet so deeply powerful, it's often overlooked, modeling confidence yourself. Now, I know that might feel like a bit of pressure. You might be thinking, but I don't always feel confident myself. And that's okay. You don't need to be fearless or perfect. In fact, that's not what kids need to see at all. What they really need is to see how you handle moments of doubt. How you face something new, or uncomfortable, or even a little scary, and keep going anyway. That's what confidence looks like in real life. Not pretending everything's fine. Not puffing yourself up. But walking forward with courage, even when your voice shakes a little. If a child sees you get flustered trying to figure out a new phone or baking a new recipe, and they watch you take a breath and say, I'll get it eventually, you're giving them a lesson far more valuable than anything you could tell them. You're showing them how to be human and strong in the same moment. It's the little things. Saying, I'm nervous about this, but I'm going to try anyway. Or, I've never done this before, so it might take me a few tries. That kind of honesty, paired with resilience, plants a seed. Kids learn that it's okay to not know. It's okay to stumble. What matters is showing up and trying. And you'd be surprised how much they notice. You might think they're only half listening, playing with toys or flipping through a book, but children are always watching. They see how you treat yourself when you make a mistake. They see whether you laugh it off or beat yourself up. And over time, those small observations become part of how they learn to treat themselves. So if you want to raise a child who's kind to themselves, who believes they can handle challenges, who keeps going even when things feel hard, start by showing them what that looks like. Not the polished version. The real one. I remember a time I tried to build a toy set for my grandson, lots of tiny screws and parts, instructions the size of a postage stamp. I was frustrated, no doubt about it. But instead of walking away or cursing under my breath, I said out loud, "Phew, this is trickier than I thought. But I'm not giving up yet." He didn't say much at the time. But later that week, when he was struggling to draw a rocket ship, I heard him mutter, "I'm not giving up yet." That's when it hit me, he really had been paying attention. Modeling confidence isn't just about the hard stuff either. It's also about celebrating your own little wins. Letting them see you proud of yourself when you finish a walk, fix something around the house, or finally learn how to send a text. Saying, "Hey, I did it," with a smile can be contagious. It gives them permission to be proud of themselves, too. Now, when you take all these pieces together, letting them try, listening deeply, praising effort, staying consistent, and modeling confidence, it becomes clear that building confidence in kids isn't about big, dramatic moments. It's about 1,000 small ones, layered over time. It's about being present, being honest, being steady. And what a privilege that is. To be someone in a child's life who helps shape not just their skills, but their sense of who they are. That's something screens can't replace. That's something no toy or trend can provide. Confidence, the kind that lasts, comes from connection. It comes from a child looking at you and thinking, if they believe in me, maybe I can believe in me too. And eventually, they don't just hear those words from you. They start saying them to themselves. That's when you know you've made a real impact, not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. Before we wrap up, let's take a breath and really sit with what this all means. You don't have to be the loudest, the smartest, or the most active person in a child's life. You just need to be the most genuine. The one who shows up, listens, encourages, and leads by example. That's what gives a child the courage to be themselves, fully, confidently, joyfully. So whether you see your grandchild every day or just a few times a month, whether you're raising a child full-time or simply sharing weekends with them, you have the power to make a difference. With your words. With your patience. With your presence. And if this video resonated with you, if it reminded you of the difference you've made or the difference you want to make, please share your thoughts in the comments. Maybe tell us one small thing you do to help build confidence in a child. Or a memory of someone who helped build yours when you were young. That kind of sharing is powerful because it reminds us that we're all part of something bigger. And if you'd like more uplifting, practical advice like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We've got so much more to talk about, because no matter your age, your wisdom, your love, and your presence are needed more than ever. Here's to helping the children in our lives grow strong, brave, and full of light, and here's to the beautiful truth that it's never too late to be the reason someone else believes in themselves.